Guys, today we are going to be making some sourdough bread. Now this is a pretty wet sourdough, and it's a recipe kind of derived from Ken Forkish, a famous baker, but I've tweaked it and made a little more hydration and a little more my way. So this is kind of my personal recipe, and I'm going to show you how to make it today. It is an overnight sourdough bread, and yeah, so let's get started. All right, first things first, add in the flour. So this is 70 grams of whole wheat flour, and then 340 grams of white flour. I will have the link, not link, but the recipe in the description. So if you need to check back on things, you can look there or rewind the video. Now this is 335 grams of lukewarm water. Put that in. And now the first process is called Autolyse. It's essentially where you mix up and get the dough going. The thing about Autolyse is you let the dough sit after it's been mixed up for a few seconds. Not a few seconds, but a few minutes. Just to sit with the dough and water, no salt, no sourdough starter, nothing like that. But just to get let the flour soak up water. Just mix this up. It should feel like kind of like a gooey paste, gluey kind of thick paste. It's sticking quite a bit. I'm just using a pincer method. Essentially, just grab a whole bunch of the dough and squish it through my fingers, which just incorporates everything. Make sure you try to get as much as you can together. Alright, now try to strain as much off your fingers as possible, and now watch off your hands. Now there's going to be a decent amount of excess that you have to wipe off when you're washing your hands, but that's okay. Now, grab your clean towel, wipe off your hands, make sure they're dry, and now you leave the flour and water mixture to sit for 20 minutes, and I'll check back with you guys then. Alright, so now it has been 20 minutes. The Autolyse process has been done, and now I'll remove my lid to my dough. And next things next, clean hands of course. Next things next, we're gonna add in our salt and yeast. This is 12 grams of sea salt. This is Himalayan sea salt, but sea salt, any type of sea salt will work. So 12 grams of sea salt and 1 gram of yeast, and just like throw that in like that. And now for your sourdough starter, it has to be healthy and like really active. As you can see, this one's quite bubbly. Here, it's a good side to show. Like right there, it's pretty good. Anyway, now put in 180 grams of your sourdough starter. So now, all right. So now that we've poured in our sourdough starter, we mix. So kind of same thing that we did last time. Just kind of bring everything together. And I forgot to mention, the sourdough starter, I recommend you feed it like the morning before you make this dough. Just keep your sleeves up. You just gotta make sure it gets really incorporated. Everything needs to be incorporated. And tell me in the comments what you liked about this video, what could be improved, what questions, anything. I will respond, and yeah. So now make sure we get all the sides. So it's pretty incorporated now. You can see it's super even and everything. So now what we do is we grab one side of the dough and pull it over on top of the thing. So this is essentially like kneading, but it's way easier for a sticky dough, because with kneading you press into the dough and everything. So it just pulls over, lop it on top. You want to stretch it though. You don't want to break the strands, but you want to stretch it. So I lift it up until I feel tension. You got to grab a decent amount. Tension, 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 tension. Anyway, you just do this until it forms kind of a ball, you know? Just kind of together like that. Strain off your hands like we did last time. And there's barely anything on my hands, so make sure you splash. No water can go into that dough, so make sure you don't splash any in. I have a big container with large sides, so you're fine. Wipe off your hands. Make sure everything stays clean. You stay clean. And now we start a timer for 5 hours. So in the first hour and a half of making your dough, every 30 minutes in that first hour and a half, you want to do the fold thing. So in the description, I will tell you more in more like easier to understand. I'll take you through those processes. And yeah, so see you in 30 minutes. Alright, so for our first fold, it has been 30 minutes since we mixed everything up. It is currently 4 hours and 30 minutes left on the timer. So I will now wet my hand. And this is how you fold dough. So you grab a big chunk of it, and you want to have wet hands for these 3 folds that we do. So it doesn't stick to your hand. It's okay. So you can see it's already coming together. It's a really nice ball. And this is a very high hydration dough, which makes for a much more airy dough, much more good dough, long story short. Just keep your hands kind of wet. It's okay that we're incorporating more water into the dough. It'll be okay, because then when we get to our shaping and folding, I mean not folding up, but like just shaping stages, we will use some flour, so that'll compensate. But you can see how it's coming together as a really nice ball. So you want to do these on each time until it kind of becomes like a really tight ball where you can't really fold more without it just pulling off the container. So big chunk of it and fold it. Grab dough, fold it. Grab dough, fold it. Just do that. I can feel it coming together more and more. Soon enough, it'll start lifting. It sticks to your hands a little bit, but it's okay. Just keep going. You only want to do these 3 folds in the first hour and a half. The reason you only want to do these 3 folds in the first hour and a half is because if you keep doing it, it will release the air that will coming together as a nice ball. The first step, as you can see, come together as well as like on the last step. Coming together as a nice ball. The first step, it won't come together as well as like on the last step. Give it some encouragement to stay. Just fold that over. Wash off your hands. Give it some encouragement to stay. Wash off your hands. Cover back on, and I will see you guys again in 30 minutes. Cover back on. Alright, so for our second fold, wet our hands. Same things before. As you can see, it stayed together. It's more of like a uniform looking dough when I'm starting to form it. Like, it's kind of smooth and... ball. Look at that. Beautiful. It's staying together pretty well. It's pretty happy. Proud of it. Wash my hands off. Yeah, looks amazing. Alright, so one more fold after this in 30 minutes, and in that time, come back and record it. Yeah. See you guys. Alright guys, so for our final and third fold, actually third and final sounds better. Yeah, so same things before, bringing it together. As you can see, it is coming together as a very nice, uniform, smooth dough, as it would if you were doing a lower hydration and kneading. But look at that, it just kind of comes up into the air with my hand. Ooh. That it's a big nice dough. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So now we're gonna let it sit for the remaining 3.5 hours, and I will film what to do then. Go. Alright guys, it has been 5 hours, and now we are going to shape the dough. So first things first, just get some flour in your proofing basket and want to lightly flour the proofing basket. Sorry if I sound a little tired. It's been a long day. Yeah, so just flour that up. You don't want insane amounts of flour, but you want a decent coat just to make sure the dough doesn't stick while proofing in the refrigerator overnight for 12 hours. Alright, so that's pretty good. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. Alright. And now just flour your work surface that you're going to work on. So, and have a bag, flour, and a twist tie ready, because we'll need that later on. Alright, so now we take our dough, grab that, and we tip it up, scoop it out onto our floured surface that we made. Be careful not to deflate it at all. Just wipe our hands off. Make sure you stay nice and clean. Alright, just make sure it doesn't stick, so fold it onto itself. Now this is where you gotta move pretty quick. Or at least that's what I think, or else it sticks. I just want to flour the outside. I'm gonna try to flip it over onto its seam. So that'll make it so, just gotta flour a little more. You want to go pretty liberal with the flour here. There's no downside. You just don't want your dough to stick, or else it'll tear, which will make it so bad things will happen. Alright, so now I'm gonna clear a little space. You want to pull it back. Now you might want to scrape away some flour, but you want to pull it back. Pull it back. And now what this is doing is tightening the outer layer of gluten. Okay, I need to flour it a little more. I feel it starting to stick just a little bit. And flour is key here. Flour is life. Life is flour. Alright. Now you definitely don't want to overdo this, or else it'll crack the dough surface and your dough will be ruined. Alright, so now it's working pretty good. It's a wet dough. It's really holding its shape. Just scrape it up just a little more. Flour the outside so you can pick it up with no problems. But anyway, you can see it's holding its nice shape. Grab that, gently set it in. Look at that, you got a beautiful dough ball in your proofing basket. So now what you do is you walk over to your sink. Wash off your hands, walk back, grab your towel, grab your plastic bag, pop that on. You want to have a little bit of breathing room. As you can see, there's a bit of hump of air in there, but you want it. Now you twist that down onto the proofing basket, put a zip tie on, twist tie on, And yeah, so now pop it in the fridge overnight for 12 hours, and I will see you guys then. See ya. Go. Alright guys, it has been 12 hours, and now we are ready to bake the bread. So what you'll need is your flour. You want a nice piece of parchment paper that you can set into your Dutch oven. You want a Dutch oven that has been preheated to 475 degrees for about 45 minutes with the lid on. You have your bread, mittens, and yeah, you can use a bread lame if you'd like, but I'm not going to do that today. So first, let's take a look at what bread's looking like. Let's just look. Oh my gosh, as you can see, that's a beautiful loaf of bread, and you just want to make sure you don't pop it. So I'm going to try to do here. It's just, I have this lightly floured, the parchment paper lightly floured. I'm just going to lightly flour that. Alright, now time to get our preheated Dutch oven. Grab that. Now you want to move pretty quick here. Remove the lid. Boom. Bam. Now you want to grab this and tilt it over onto the parchment paper. You want to just set that in. And so, one sec, I'll recap on how I got the bread out in a second. Alright, so now you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes with the lid on. Make sure the lid's on for the first 15 minutes of baking. And this is baking at 475 degrees for 15 minutes. And I'll check with you guys then. So, next thing's next. So what I did here, I'm not going to try to tap it too hard because this has been seasoned. But you want to do, so you have your dough in here, right? So you want to flip it over and you want the edge to tap. And that creates some just like force to push it out. It's just, that's really all. Anyway, yeah guys, just clean up. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. See ya! Alright guys, the 15 minutes is up. And now we will check the bread. So just get your mitt. I'll pull that out for you guys. Just let you guys get a look. So yeah, it rose a lot. Looks beautiful. Take the lid off. And now just push it back in without the lid on. So set the lid down with a mitt on top so you don't burn your hands. And then now we're going to set the timer for 25 minutes with the lid off. And you can turn on your light if you would like to take a look at it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 25 minutes. Alright guys, it has been 25 minutes and our loaf is ready to be taken out. So first we'll turn off the light and turn off the oven. And now, the final reveal. Beautiful, round, risy loaf of bread. So now what you do is you grab it and you tip it out onto your hand. Grab the parchment paper and take that off. And look at that. You got yourself a beautiful loaf. Look at that char. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright. And now once it is cool, you have to let it cool for 30 minutes to make sure that you don't lose too much moisture when you crack it open. So yeah, let this rest for 30 minutes, and then when 30 minutes is up, I'll do a taste test and see what it looks like. See you guys then. See ya!